All right, it looks like we're live.
All right.
All right, everyone, thank you for being with us today. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Behind the Comics. I'm Sean, I'm the host, and today we're going to do a deep dive into the creative work of independent comics. This series is all about bringing you closer to storytellers, artists, and visionaries who make comics we love. Today, I'm excited to be here with James and Mike.
Hello.
Um,
Hello, everybody.
Yes. If I think I correctly, it's Thingamajig,
Thingamajig Studios.
Thingamajig Studios.
Yes.
I've been working on some incredible projects, and I look forward to bringing some of them today, like the Chronicles of Gabriel, me and Mr. James, and a few
Jones.
others.
Me and Mr.
Jones,
Jones.
you Jones. Yes.
Right.
And so, with no further ado, I'd like to take the opportunity to have the guys introduce. Can you guys introduce yourselves and share your role in Thingamajig Studios?
My name is James Merrill. I am a co-founder and CEO of Thingamajig Studios. Uh, Let me see. Our role is writers. We are. I'm a writer, as well as we have a third friend that was involved, who's no longer with us, and his name was John Kimson, and he also was a co-writer and founder
Mhm.
of the company.
My name is Michael Scott. I'm also one of the creators and founders. We each call ourselves CEO partners.
Hmm.
We fondly refer to ourselves as the Trinity of Thingamajig Studios. We are the brainchilds, the orchestrators behind everything that comes out of our studios. Those three heads came together to make the Trinity that is Thingamajig Studios.
Okay. And how did you two first get started? Or since it's three guys, I have to keep a
Yeah.
contest of third person. So how did all three guys came um together and get started?
Well, we've been friends since kids, since we were kids, and we go to school together. We go and do things together. So a lot of our interests, we're the same: comic books, anime, stories. We just all really have a love for stories, and you see something that's really exciting, and you sit down and you talk about it. You talk about, hey, did you watch this on
Mhm.
TV, or did you watch this? Did you see this movie? And everything. We've been do audiobooks where we listen to Star Wars and
Star Trek.
Star
Wow.
Trek and different books. And so a lot of times we would get together and just sit down and just, casual
It
talking
is.
about what we would like to see happen, or in certain situations,
How
how
we would
can
do
we
it.
flip it?
Yeah, how we
How we
would
would do
rewrite
it.
it
It's
or how would we
it's funny
change it.
because I look at a lot of your comics and it's like I feel like I can see that. For example, when I see me and Mr. James, I'm thinking like Doctor Who off the rip. So it's
Oh,
We'll take that comparison. We like
yeah.
that.
yeah, Doctor Who been around a long time. I
Absolutely.
pray for that longevity.
Absolutely. Me and Mr. Jones was definitely that's
Yeah,
our
I'm
flagship
gonna stop
character.
you. I'm gonna stop you because I want to make sure you get the time to spill all the tea on it, right?
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, okay. But I'm still on you guys because I don't want
Okay,
to get
okay.
too big.
Right.
But I did want to get into the background now. So what I really want to find out is where are you guys from, and what kind of influence your creative background or your journey? You
Okay.
kind of
So
touch on it.
I'm actually a transplant. I was actually born and raised in Tennessee.
Okay.
Came out here in 1988. Um, Ended up moving out here, getting a job, got an apartment, met a neighbor, and the neighbor, me and him were talking, and he's like, "Oh, you like comic books? Oh, you like Prince? I got a friend of mine that you should meet." Oh, that
Huh.
was a friend. And then we joined up with him, and then by meeting him, I met John, and then we
Okay.
started, like you said, talking, and all of us were into comic books and into
Mm,
sci-fi and all of that stuff, and just shared that love. We were all in relationships or married in and around the same time. My kids are 2 to 3 or 4 or 5 years apart from each other. We were raising our
that's so.
families
Together.
together and all that stuff, and
I
so
love the brotherhood. I really do. I really
yeah,
do.
yeah. I always joke that I'm closer to him and John. I'm closer to him than I am to my brothers, and we shared blood bond, and I'm closer to these guys than them. Although I do love my brothers, I'm not saying I don't. Don't if they're watching, don't get
I'm not
offended.
gonna tell.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
He's my brother. He's my
yeah.
brother.
so,
I'm just kidding.
so
I'm, I'm just kidding.
no,
Let me
you
see.
cool, you good. So,
So,
so how did Thingamajig Studios come about as an idea?
as an idea,
Mm.
let me see. I'd say it came about just by us being around each other, thinking about doing a comic book. We had tried to do a comic book earlier with some other friends, and that didn't necessarily work out. We realized that we were much better at writing than drawing, and that's actually a good thing for us. Otherwise, it wouldn't have got
Hey,
started.
I understand. I'm not. I understand.
Absolutely. But we have been talking, we'd get together different times and we would talk about a character who we wanted to kind of bring to life. And he was going to be a vampire pimp. But
Oh,
we decided, we went through a couple scenarios.
Evolution,
Yes,
we'll say.
exactly, and decided to work him into a workable character that's kind of PG rated and all.
so you took the pimp out. Okay.
Yeah, we took that out. Mike, what else did we add? Come on.
Man, he was like I said, he started out as a vampire pimp, um, uh, out doing pimp like stuff, and as we started
You made me want to
evolving
say a
and
pimp
talking
like slip
about
back, right?
yeah, 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 and then as we started looking at it and wanting to have a broader appeal with
Hmm.
it and hit more audiences. And at the time when we were talking about it, Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon were really big
Okay.
and all that stuff. So it's like,
I
hey,
thought
we
Silver
want
did good. What are you talking
yeah,
about?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So Adult Swim was
yeah.
good, but it was still kind of niche when we first
Yeah.
started the concept. It wasn't as big as it is now. So we started talking about, hey, well, how can we broaden that, soften it, make it more palatable for everybody
For a
to
more
do it, and
casual
then that's
audience.
how it started evolving into what the current book is now.
Okay. Wait, I forgot. See, it's like I'm trying to keep us section to section, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
some
We
say
kind of
just
go
want to
back to
jump.
I do have one more thing to throw in,
Yeah.
and that is that when we started the company, a thing for Thingamajig, we all had ideas.
yes.
We all have ideas, and
Mm-hmm.
the way we started was we'll do a flagship book, and then we will come up with our own
Individual stuff.
individual stuff, and which we'll talk to you about later.
Okay, so joint venture and then individual artists. I'm
Yes.
trying. I think there's a music group. I know I'm not gonna go do that right now.
Yeah.
What were some of the earliest challenges you faced when you were breaking into comics?
Wow.
Time, money, being family men with
Hmm.
established families and households, trying to hold down a regular job and be a father, be a husband, be a provider, and then take time out to then work on this passion project, to this thing
Hmm.
that you truly love and find that time. That was probably the hardest thing. And then, the independent community is a lot bigger now, but when we first started about out with it, trying to get resources and understand and find, and a lot of times people, not so much now, but back then they would hoard the information and wouldn't want to necessarily share
True.
it as much.
That's still
Um,
true today.
Yeah.
it is, but I'll say this, and when we start talking about other collaborative people that we work with, that community or the community that we're a part of is very broad and open and helping us, but finding that particular community. So that was one of the most challenging things, just trying to find time and find a way to do it.
That as well as the resources, finding out, you want to do things legally.
Yeah.
You want to you have to find out, since we're not artists, we had to find out more about artists. We need to find out, and let me tell everybody out there, first thing, pay your artist. that is
Ex-
that is one of the most important things. It's important for you. It's important to your quality, and
mhm.
of course,
Mhm.
it's negotiable. A lot of people have helped us along the way to understand, you know, to pay the artist, but
It
uh,
makes
uh,
it, it makes
mhm.
copywriting so much easier too.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So that was our biggest thing was, coming and getting our product together because
Mhm.
I always call it a product. We need a product.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Get the
it is.
product and then produce the product
Mhm.
and then find the place to go ahead and sell it at.
And the-
And we've had some good spots to do that. So,
we're about to. Okay, I have one last question before we get into the comic highlights.
okay.
So, but I would say, damn, I really want to go off that, but I'm going to leave it alone. So who and what inspires your work the most?
uh, Let me see. For me, wow. It can go vast. I can name Todd McFarlane, Stan Lee, Frank
Mm,
Miller, John Byrne, for comic books. Timothy Zahn, Jim Butcher, uh, and I can't think of another. There was many people that wrote for AC Crispin for Star Trek.
mm-hmm.
The books, anime. I can mostly name the animes. You had Elfin Lied, you had Escaflowne, you
Rastafari.
Mm-hmm.
had Rasafan, uh, uh, you had Acura. Everybody, anybody who is in or likes anime, Acura was the absolute ultimate, penultimate thing. And Robotech, Macross. Do you remember Love? I mean, I can start going, and it's so many things. As I said, we watch a lot of programs, anime, books.
Your
You
wife,
know,
y'all supporting wives. I can say that. I can say that.
yes, we
Hey,
do.
girls don't even want you to play games today, but
Yeah, hey, it was part of the dating contract.
Yeah.
Period.
In fact, we took them all to a comic book convention.
Yes,
And
we
like, hey,
did.
this
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 is
what it
us.
is. This is a comic book shop. Hey,
hey,
know what you're
this
getting, know
is
what you're
it.
stepping into. So
Yes,
hey, if you're not into it, that's cool. Let me know. But this is
No,
what we're gonna be doing. And so
absolutely.
even with me, it's kind of the same thing. I still read comic books.
mhm,
Even now, I'm a big DC guy and
mhm.
Marvel. And now that I'm independent, I read a lot of I like a lot of Robert Love and Jason Reeves stuff. Uh, Kill Philadelphia, those kind of things. I like a lot of the independent things because with the independent stuff, it allows you to be more creative than
Mhm.
with the mainstay stuff. So that kind of gravitates me toward those kind of things. But that kind of what inspires me to do it and to write and look into that stuff to try to emulate some of that stuff.
All right, so now we get to go into some of the comic highlights. Now we're going to transition again, right?
All right.
Okay.
And and now, initially, I was going to ask about one quote, but I'm going to make you pick. So, which book you want to tell us more about and what makes it unique? Because you guys got a few IPs out there, so I can't just pick one.
Well, I'm gonna say we'll start with me and Mr. Jones because that is the flagship. That's the one we have the most
Hold up,
issues.
hold up, hold up. We gonna bring it up.
There he
Yes.
is. Yes.
There we go.
There we go. So, tell us, tell us what makes, tell us about it, and tell us what makes it unique.
Okay. Well, me and Mr. Jones. Let me tell you about this thing that we got going on. Right? Are you ready to hear about the greatest story that you've never heard of?
Wow.
So,
Okay.
Mr. Jones, you know those classic Universal monsters, Frankenstein, the Mummy, the
Hmm.
creatures from the Black Lagoon. Well, they had kids, and then they came up missing. So, Mr. Jones, who just happens to be a vampire and a conscientious member of the monster community because monster lives matter, he said, "I'm gonna open up a
Hmm.
foster home for these kids." So these kids have to live in a world that's judging them on how they look. Now we don't do that nowadays, right? In 2025, we don't judge people on how they look, right? This is just a comic book. We're making
I live
stuff up.
in DC area. Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah, yeah,
stop.
yeah, yeah. So that's not this. This is not in no way emulating real life. We're just making this stuff up. This is just comic books. And then there's also a secret organization that's hunting them. Again, we're
Mhm.
making this stuff up. This is a comic book. It's not real. That stuff
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
happen in real
lovely.
life. Yeah. So now what we realize is every culture throughout the world has their own folklore,
Hmm.
mysteries, and monsters. So we figured, how can we introduce some diversity by telling the kind of stories that we want to tell? So every time we introduce a different kid into the foster home or into the storyline, we look at that region that that kid is from, and then we try to figure out what kind of myths or legends or monsters come from it. If you can see, hold on, yeah. So I don't know if you guys can see this book right here.
You, I just want
I don't know if
everyone to
you,
see. They have it in front of them for your enjoyment. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So this book right here, we have a Hispanic kid, Chewy. He's Hispanic. We have a German boy. We have a black girl, and then in our third issue, we introduce a girl from Tibet who turns into a Yeti. Every time we get a kid from a different region, we're going to
Hmm.
use that region and see what myths or legends are in that region, and use that to then introduce our diversity. So that was the original story that we wanted to tell. Talk about monsters, but also talk about diversity. These kids they're at like that tween age. They're trying to figure out what happened to their parents, live in a world that's judging them, going through puberty, trying to figure it out. And so that's me and Mr. Jones in a nutshell.
So let me ask a question then for that. So how did Mr. and Mrs. Joe come to life? What was the creative vision behind it?
So again, like we started out, he started out as a vampire pimp, and he was going to be going on secret missions, doing stuff. And we weren't really sure what we were going to do with that. And then we started talking about the classic Universal monsters. I want to say it was either James or John that started talking about Frankenstein and the Mummy and all that stuff. And then it was like, okay, well, how do we integrate that? How do we incorporate that? And then I was like, I think it was Mrs. Foster's Home for Imaginary Kids that was like kind of popular at the time. And we
Mm,
like, what if we took it from a kid angle? What if they had kids and they came a missing, and just us three sitting there talking and working it out, and this, well, that doesn't work. Let's try this. How about this? How about that? Just sitting there going over it for months, coming up with what we had was the foundation of the original Bible as the characters, and how do we integrate those characters? How do we do that? Once we have the main characters and the antagonist and the protagonist, well, what's the first story going to be about? Oh, wow, how do we do that? And then, started looking up different folklore, different legends. And issue one shows Chewie, who's a chupacabra. That's like the first issue in the first book, that mission that
next
they
year.
go on with them trying to rescue him. And then, like, the issue that you see is issue two, that kind of introduces the main kids. And in as you're looking at it here, you have the mummy, you have the Frankenstein, you have the Wolfman, you have the creature from the Black Lagoon. You also have Chewie. We have Karina, who's the me and Mr. Jones. She's his niece, and she's a
Mm.
hybrid. She's half siren and half vampire.
Oh
So
Lord.
yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that first issue kind of introduces it, and then the second issue we introduce all the kids, and then as the issues go on, we start going into the different missions and all
Okay.
that stuff, and building the world that is the me and Mr. Jones world.
So just so the audience and me and us well as know, it's kind of like we're going on rescue missions, like the mutants used to do. Like,
So some of
yeah.
it is rescue missions. They're also trying to figure out what happened to their parents. So that's a big story arc. And there's a secret
Okay.
organization that's also hunting them. So one,
Okay.
yeah,
For I'll throw in for he's hunting them. They're hunting them for a reason. And there's
Uh,
another. We have not necessarily an end game, but we have a plateau that we're trying to get them to.
yes.
hey,
That these missions will
are you?
help on.
I was gonna ask because I wanted this because I really always like to ask when I see people do their art. Some people are like standalone, so everything's like a separate copy. That's like that's all it is, and some people like to build stories or universes. So
Yes.
I was
Yes.
gonna ask you if this was what how many stories or how many chapters or
So we do it in
editions you
like
were planning
story
to do
arcs.
for this one.
Yeah.
Right. We're doing them in story arcs, and I am a big Battlestar Galactica fan of Ronald D. The recent one that, or as far as was recent, that came
The,
out. Ronald D. Moore, David Icke, they are masters of the payoff, And that's what I like. That's what I've aimed for in
Hmm.
the books, is to pay off. If we're talking about something, I want to pay it off. I want to make sure we get to what it is in
Okay,
the story arcs that we want to do. So we are, currently transitioning to making sure that each year we tell a full story.
got it. Uh, how one of the tricky questions, or one of the sensitive questions, what I wanted to ask was, what was it like working with your late partner, and how are you carrying forward his vision?
Working with John was fun. It was, matter of fact, we're in the location right here, back here at this table, where we used to sit, all three of us
Hmm.
sit, brainstorm, and write. And our writing was very interesting because we would all write parts of the book. We would establish what exactly the story, how the story was going to run, and then we'd say, "You write this part, you write this part, you write this part," and we would read it, edit it, mix it, discuss it, flip it around the way
Smack
we
it up,
wanted
flip it,
to.
rub it
There you go.
down.
There you go. We get it all taken care of and get it done.
He
Sounds
even
like
came up with our name,
Yes, he came
Thingamajig
up with
Studios.
Thingamajig.
Yeah, that was
a
his brainchild.
okay. Um, Much respect for your fallen brother. So I just want
Thank
to
you.
make
Yes.
sure he's
Thank you.
acknowledged. And guys, it's always a pleasure to be working with friends and brothers. As I feel that to my bones when it comes to any project. It's like you always, it's one thing to do something. It's always better to do with somebody you like to do work with.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Um, uh, so what? You have so many stories. I feel like I can't just stop at just the first one. We can't. I feel like I'm going to have the same question, but I'm going to do it for each book.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But before I even do that, how did you approach balancing the storytelling and the artwork in your project? Because I know you have to get artists for your book, but
Yes.
kind of like,
We sought out series. As far as I was concerned, I was trying to seek out series artists to work on our books. Keith and Jones works on
Me, Mr.
Me
Jones.
and Mr. Jones. He is currently doing work for Image Comics, as well as doing our book. He is a series he's done out of we have 6 books. He's done 5 of them. The beginning one,
woo,
we
Different artists.
had a different artist, and so we've had Keithan for a while. Keithan's also a curator of the San Diego Black Comics Day, which happens in February each year, and it attracts a lot of not only people coming for to the shows, but as well as independent Black creators
And minority.
and
Right.
minority
Yeah.
creators. So I'll just say independent creators
okay.
and all. So he is
Oh,
our artist for that.
I know for us with the because we don't draw, we write and create. That I want to say initially that learning curve as we're writing, and then that transition to drawing and understanding paneling and we describe a scene and we write it this way, but how does that transition to a panel? And understanding that sometimes not everything we wanted could be fit on that page or fit on that panel or and all that stuff. So that was even a learning curve for us because what we envisioned and then what could actually be put on, a book, a page this size with the paneling, that was a learning curve also for us understanding the format on how that works. And I think you can see the progression from issues 1 up all the way up to issue 6 that we're working on now. The
mm,
paneling and everything,
What we
all quality work, but just the paneling and all that stuff, having a greater understanding from the artist perspective as to how it has to be done.
Yeah,
and
there.
it's funny, right? Because a lot of people, one of the stuff that, and if you watch because read a lot of stuff like on webtoons or stuff like that, is the first thing you recognize is that there's always a progression with the art as it gets more mature, simply because
Yes.
the
Yes.
artist got more time to record to. It's like when we first start off, we just want to get something out there. But
Yeah.
as
Yes.
we get better at it, we'd be like, okay, how do we really want to portray this character? So characters now mature in their presentation,
Yes.
comic preserve. and it's funny because people say, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like people think they need to fire your team, but then as their team keep working on it, they say, man, y'all been improving. I'm like, yeah, because they got
Yes.
Hmm.
it's like me as a programmer working on a project. It's like I improve the longer I get to work on
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
it. So
Absolutely.
so
Abs-
so
we go ahead.
a lot of people need to understand when you're getting started. It's like it's not about how you start, it's how you finish. And trust me,
Yeah.
it always gets better
Yes.
each time.
Absolutely.
A question,
Absolutely.
a question before I go to your second book, because I do want to bring it up. But I have to ask, how long have you guys been working within Thingamajig as a studio? So if you were to say age yourselves right now, don't worry. And I'm glad I'm dealing with my present company with this
10
question.
plus?
10. With
With Thingamajig?
Thingamajig, I'd have to say is like 20 years old, pretty much. We've been working, and I mean, we've had the vision, but
Yes.
just coming through, and I guess going through all the obstacles that
Mhm,
really stopped us. We had a year where we were really stopped trying to deal with finding an artist and finding a look. It's not
mhm,
easy. You don't, with writers, you're looking for the right one.
Yeah.
You're looking
mhm.
for the right
And that's hard.
person.
What fits your vision?
Exactly, to fit your vision and bring it to life. The stories are there. We had the stories, we had the
Mhm,
direction. And the funniest thing about that is we had the stories and we had the direction. But when it came time after we got everything, we were like, hey, let's change this. It goes into further development. So sometimes
mhm,
that was a thing. But over the years we developed it to exactly. I mean, we told you our first idea, 70s styles vampire, yeah, secret
yeah.
agent.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. That's what it was. Secret agent. I
yeah,
forgot.
secret
Yeah,
agent.
it
It
was a
was,
secret agent.
it was about that. And then we just started, hey, trying to flip it. So during that time,
I,
we did what we could.
okay, okay, guys, I'm just sharing with you guys because as you see, is that the progression of artists and the background? Because a lot of people think it's fast money or fast
Yes.
coming into this
Yes,
market.
Overnight
It's
success.
not. It's
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 like you
not.
not.
will be stuck in certain areas for a really long time simply because you just don't know how to progress or he does not in those communities yet. But trust me, stay long enough. And
Oh
I
yeah.
remember having interviewed one of my persons. I met him at a Comic Con. It was at my first Comic Con, and he was like, "This is his second tour." And,
Mhm.
and I got goose eggs for that entire Comic Con. I'm just gonna say that though. I got nothing sold.
Oh
So,
wow.
but but the funny thing about it is, I got to sit there and talk to him, and he was like saying, oh, a lot of people that he started off because a lot of people like COVID babies, right? A lot of people started their comic stuff during COVID,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
he was like, they already quit, and he's seen them and talked to them, and I was like, yeah, yeah, I've been working on this for a while. I'm just decided to come out the house, okay? So I'm
Yes.
just learning. To like each day, I'm learning that there's another aspect of this business that I need to learn so that I understand that it's all about being in the presence of your audience.
Yes.
And so when you've been doing it for a long time, you get to know like this ain't where it is, this is where you need to be at, and you bring what you got,
Yeah.
Right.
and then eventually you get more to bring.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You get to it.
One of the things that people, they comics and they see the entertainment aspect of it, but at the end of the day, it is still a business.
Hmm.
And the business part, I'll say to him sometimes when we're creative, the writing and all that part, that's the part I love the
Hmm.
best. But the business aspect, printing and paying for stuff and licenses and copyrights and sales tax and all of that kind of stuff.
And that's just the cost of doing business. We
Yes,
Yes.
that is the cost of doing
The cost.
this stuff right here we're doing. This is the fun stuff. This is the stuff that people see,
hmm
or they go to a show and they see the guy and you got your banners out and you're
hmm
talking about it and all that stuff. But the amount of time, effort, and work that it went
hmm
to
the prep work.
produce that one artwork or that one thing and the time that you spent putting into it. Like
Hmm.
I said, 20 years of concepts to then come to the fruition to
and
have
I like
that
that.
book.
Yeah, I like that because even one of my friends, I'm helping him work on his first comic, right? But this comic, he's had it since he was in high school.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're
Yes.
in our late 30s now, so
Wow.
I had to be like, I just literally said to him, it's like it took someone like me to help you birth this into the world. it's,
There you go.
it's
Help
like
you get it there.
I know you're artistically inclined and I know you got it, but sometimes it takes someone else to help you birth it into the world. And I'm happy to help him in that journey. And so what I was going to say now, we just talked about Mr. Jones,
Yes.
but we
Yes.
do have two other ones
Yes.
Yes. We
to look
do
at.
have two other ones. You
So which
start.
one we going to tackle? Because at the end of this section, I'm going to let you shout out where people can find it. But
Okay.
I want to know what I want them to know what's there. So you have Outlaws, and I remember you have
Chronicles of Gabriel.
Chronicles of Gabriel.
Gabriel.
Let's start with Chronicles of Gabriel.
All right,
And
let's go. Let's go, Mr.
I'm
Gabriel.
all right. We're coming up. I think that's still Mr. Jones.
Wait,
There
okay,
we
There
go.
we go.
There he is.
there you go.
There he is. So the Chronicles of Gabriel is a vision by our late partner John Kempson.
Mm-hmm.
It was his. He also wanted to deal with diversity, but also deal with it in the comic books and deal with people on a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel is a story about an angel who was sent from the Most High down to
Mm-hmm.
earth to weed out the souls, weed out the true good souls on earth and bring them back to heaven during the time of revelation. And of
Mm.
course, there's evil forces down there trying to stop him. But he
Lucifer's
has
active, man.
thank you. And this cover and as well as the book was done by Marvel artist and Dark Horse artist Robert Love,
Mm.
who has a gallery of fine work and creator of a number 13. But we felt it was important that we wanted to make sure that the book was, as we said, the art. We want the art to look good. We're bringing quality stories, so we want that to come through. But Gabriel is John's character, and he has two other side characters that are that make the travels and the journey with him for the souls, and that is Yari and Omar.
I have to ask because I know he's your late partner.
Mhm.
Is this series finished, or are you guys going to finish it for him?
This series is not finished. We are going to finish it
Yeah.
for him, but we
Mm.
also have the extreme pleasure of the fact that he discussed these characters with his sons,
Yeah. Both his
Thomas
sons.
and Joshua,
Okay.
and they have agreed to go ahead and tell us everything they know and provide us everything because that they talked with their dad about this incredible book.
So we
We're
can
just
bring
really
his
happy.
vision to fruition and do it justice in honor of him.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
No, hey, I love the idea and I love the concept and I love he got to leave his legacy for not only you guys to help carry on, but his own family he gets to do as well. Hey,
Yes.
I just got started with kids. Okay, my first one is still under one.
All
Bless your
right.
heart.
All right. Congratulations on that.
Yes. So I look forward to annoying the crap out of mine.
Absolutely. Man,
But
yeah, you're
until
gonna
then,
have
he
some
gets the
fun.
opportunity to do it to me.
You're gonna have fun. And I guess next up would be the outlawed. Um,
Yes. Coming to the stage,
Yep.
Outlaws.
The outlawed. I am usually good at this, but my friend Mike does it so much better. So I'm gonna ask him.
Okay.
Go
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
him the
Yeah.
stage. Wait, should I give him the stage? Should we get off?
So again, the outlawed. I'm gonna say, think of North Korea and Wakanda. And I know you're saying what? So let me
Already
break it
did.
down to you. Think of a country that has vast resources, technology, everything you would want, but they sequester themselves. They don't interact with the rest of the world. The
Mhm.
rest of the world wants those resources, but they can't beat them in a fair fight. So how do you
So
beat
they're
them?
aware of them.
Yes, yes, everyone knows about them, so most of the countries know, hey, we want what this country has, but they don't want to share, and you can't beat them in a fair fight. So what do? You start a propaganda war. You tell the
Mm.
world that this country are slavers, they're terrorists, they're warmongers. They're doing all of these bad things. So as a country, do you open yourselves up to allow the world to see that you aren't bad, which is what the other countries want so they can get in and get your resources? Or do you keep yourself sequestered and become the outlawed? That's the story.
Mm, mm.
That
I can see
th-
this playing out so many.
so many different ways, so many different ways. When I came
Oh,
up,
I could have fun with an art storyline like this because it's like,
yes, when I came up with this title, I went a few different ways. I wanted to make it, a span over three different generations, and they
mm,
weren't necessarily back to back. I wanted it to start in ancient
mm,
times and bring it forward to the future, all the way to the future. And but I'm very happy with what I got. Uh, I was told, some things have some similarity to other things.
hey,
However,
hey,
I was once given advice that said, if two things are the same, just make yours better.
That part.
And that is what that is what I'm going to do.
hey, best advice I heard today.
But I don't know if he wants to. Even the evolution of this wasn't originally called the Outlawed. It has evolved over time. It started out as something else with a different title, a different name. But
Mhm.
then we working it and going
Yes,
through. It's been his true brainchild coming to fruition. Watching the evolution from what it started out to what it is, and then when we actually put it into print and put it out.
absolutely,
Man, I like
absolutely.
the evolution that happens with stories and the ability for saying it's like there's a part of it that's like we are trying to tell a story and we can go anywhere with it, but it's like we have to stick to a path. It's like
Yes,
quantum mechanics. It's like
Yeah.
you have infinite possibility, but you got to pick one eventually. And
absolutely. And I want to also mention that this book was drawn by Robert Crump. Robert Crump uh, at one time was actually part of this company,
mm,
meaning actually when we were developing the company.
mhm.
We've known him for 20 plus
Yeah.
years.
Plus years.
Met him at San Diego Comic Con, and his art is actually very it's what I call punk funk type of type of
Okay.
art. It's very creative,
I was gonna say
very descriptive.
Matrixy. I was definitely going
Yes,
Matrix.
it is excellent, and he does so many different projects. But I will say that this is for me one of his best, just because
Hey,
it's mine. I'm just gonna say
claim it,
that.
claim it. I ain't gonna take it from you.
And we
uh,
do. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I was gonna say so. Wait, two more questions in this section before I move on. So the next question we're gonna ask is, where can people find and read your comics right now?
Okay. Right now, you can find our comics at www.thingamajigstudios.com
Mm-hmm.
or even .org. We have both of those websites, both of those domains
Hey,
out.
let's make it point back to you. That's all it's going.
Yeah, that's, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. And also we have our books in store at the Comic Den, which is in Los Angeles, California. Uh, Wish I had the address up right here, right now. Hang on.
Yeah, that's fine. What we will do is we always post information of where people can follow you guys and find your stuff on
Yes,
in the description. So if it's not even there now, I'm gonna put it there
yes, and
today.
actually on the website, we
Mhm.
actually are able to. We've actually been putting up our next conventions or appearances that we're at.
Oh, okay.
So that
Meet and
you
greets,
can also find
everyone.
the comic books there.
Okay. When I get to California, I'm gonna find one of these meet and greets to say hi to these guys in person. Um,
Absolutely, absolutely. One more thing, we found the
mhm.
address.
Yeah,
So
the Comic Den is 4912 West Slauson, Los Angeles, California, 90056.
And anyone in California, I'm going to say this now, so that they can get reordered. Buy their books in the store because
yes, buy the books
that's how
in
it
the
works.
store.
Yeah.
We appreciate there are sales online. However, we appreciate in the store
Yes.
because we need them. We need them to be there.
Because that's
Period.
how everyone knows to reorder it.
Yes, absolutely. They have to
Uh,
reorder.
and are you planning to release single issues, lore collection volumes, or expand into other formats?
Right now we went to a couple of conventions and we watched how graphic novels um, sell, and they sell very well. People are interested in a story all the way. Michael is holding up. That is me and Mr. Jones. That is
Volume
our
one.
volume one, and
Mhm.
that is a compilation of our the first three stories
Plus a bonus story.
plus a
Oh,
bonus story. So we're making sure that we head that way, and we're going to
And
try all the books that way.
yeah, and then when we were in the process of we're in the middle of
yes. I know that feel. I know that
yeah,
feel.
when
There they go.
we're in the process of finishing issue 6. When we come out with issue 6, then we will put together issues 4, 5, and 6, and also have volume 2 of
Graphic novel.
the graphic novel
Mhm.
out
Mhm.
too. So and that's like so people like instead of buying the individual books, we
Just buy the
put it
entire.
collected it together. People seem to like that. I've always been a when I do buy actual physical comic books, I like to trade paperbacks also too because you can just have everything all in one story,
Mhm.
one whole contained story instead of waiting month by month. You wait for it to come out, you can read the whole thing all in one shot
Everyone
and it'll read
binge.
it at your leisure.
it's
Yeah,
just
everybody
it's just
binges, binge
it's
watching,
the
binge
same thing.
reading. Yeah,
Hey, this is the ultimate. I'm going to binge season one. Okay.
Yes,
yeah,
there you
yeah.
go.
That's it.
Ultimate. Binge it all. Binge it
and
all.
so the current format we got some condensation. Wait, did I ask how many do you guys? Because I know it's an ongoing series. Do you
Yes.
guys have like a set chapter number you're trying to get to for each of these? Like you trying to get to 20, 30, or you're just going along and see how long it rides for?
We initially started out like the first story arc. We thought the first story arc was going to be 6 books. As the story started to develop, and it looked like it might be 8, it looked like 9. So I don't think we have a set number. What we want to do is tell a complete story. So whatever that takes to get that first story arc out as we started writing and Rickman, oh, well, if we're going to do this and how do we make this pay off there and all that stuff. So we're just trying to focus more on creating complete stories and however many books that takes, then, that's how many books it'll take.
Yep, we will write until we drop.
Yeah.
So, since this is the flagship, yes, we're going to keep on writing the way we go. And then it can be 20 or whichever, but we're going to make sure we keep rolling with it. And our other books, we're gonna pretty much. I think we're gonna go ahead and bring them into possibly what with the outlawed. I see like about approximately 12 books.
And,
So 12
and so
books to
that
get it across.
hey guys, all it means is there's a lot of story to tell, so we stick with it. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I like
Absolutely.
I like the concept of I get to tell a full story from start to finish and
Yeah.
having people
Yes.
on the journey. Is there any social media handles I need to be aware of before we jump to the next section?
So yes, we have we're Instagram, Facebook. We don't have a TikTok, but Instagram and
You
Facebook are
got
probably the
we done
two
that?
most. Yeah, we're not as young as we look, and we do need to get better at TikTok. But
Yes.
definitely, we have a presence on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when we're doing shows. We just did a show, Nerds and Hip Hop, this past Sunday, and we're doing the stuff and the push up. And then as we talk about where our books are some of the things that we do to get our stuff out. I know that's coming up in a couple of sections, so I ain't gonna spoil that. We'll
Yeah,
get to that part.
actually, it's a random question I just thought about. Is there anything you're pushing right now for your audience? So, and if you want to push it here too, like you have a new drop you're gonna do like in a couple months, you want people to be aware of it, so it's coming out or something like that.
So, well, at the end of the year, we should have issue 6 and volume 2 of
Okay.
Me and Mr. Jones. So when that sixth issue is done, then we're also going to have that sixth issue, and then we're also going to come out with volume 2 of the trade paperback, which will be issues 4, 5, and 6, and that's projected for the end of the year. We're making it, make sure we have it for the end of the year. So at the beginning of the year, a couple of different things. The Pasadena Comic Con is in January, but I'm not going to, I'll wait till we get to that point and to talk about some of those things. So we'll have that stuff ready.
Absolutely. I have one other, it's gonna be probably, I think I'm looking somewhere into 2026, but I have a title that I'm writing called Akuba and the Lost Tribe. And
Mm.
that
It's
that is
fire.
in it is
It's
fire. It
fire.
is fire. That is
Man, wait till you
Yeah.
guys see that book.
it's currently in production right now.
Mhm.
I don't want to say too much about it,
Mm.
but it has
I'm glad
elements.
I got the exclusive. Okay.
You have the
Yeah,
exclusive. You
man.
have the
That
exclusive. But just what if, what if some black people showed up in Japan? That's a little teaser
Okay,
for it.
we go leave the samurai stuff for now.
There we go. We're gonna leave an adventure. Definitely for
All
that. But that's something we'll be pushing soon and getting ready.
right, we're about to go to the last two sections that we discussed, but before that, we'll go pay some bills real quick. So,
Okay.
all right, where do I go? There's where I go. Hello, guys.
Mhm.
Um, Today is sponsored by My Comic AI. So My Comic AI, guys, is all about helping comic book artists monetize their comics. We all love the work of building the comics, but they're taking it from product
Mhm.
to business is where a lot of us fall short. My Comic AI is all about solving that problem for us. So think about AI teaching you, showing you, and tracking all your progress going from we built to we're now profitable. And that's what My Comic AI is about, getting you to your first 1,000 books sold. So if you're
Awesome.
interested, we're currently setting up for beta. So look forward for it. You can reach out to us about joining the beta group, and we look forward to anyone that wants to join us. And with that said, thank you for listening to us. Now let's get back to the story.
gotta pay the bills.
Okay, go back to you guys. Wait. No, actually, I do this one. All right, we're back. So the last two sections that I have, I told you we're going to do some shout outs.
Okay.
A lot of people were supporting you, especially over the last 20 years. So who would you like to give some credit and support for along the way?
Let's see. Boy, that's a list. As we said, getting into doing our dream, um, our being able to do this, support of our family. That would be our wives, Dawn Scott, Shelby Kimpson, and Sheila Merrill. Those are the people that prop us up. Those are the people that turn their head when we want to take a little money away from the account. So, you know,
Those book orders
Ah,
ain't cheap.
that,
yeah,
yeah.
we want to definitely appreciate that. Our kids, Jordan Merrill, Jason Merrill, uh,
Cameron Kelso, Hayden Scott,
Tom
Joshua
Kimpson,
Kimson, and
Thomas
Thomas
Baber.
Baber. Yeah,
Yeah,
Thomas Barber. Okay, Baber.
Baber.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
lucky.
close enough.
I'm
Though
usually good at math, but I stopped counting. But I was like, how many kids? That's it.
they, something, family is everything. We have family that have come to our conventions and supported us. We
Man,
Hmm.
have families that have literally sent me pictures from Vegas wearing our shirts.
Nice.
I'm sorry, me and Mr. Jones Penny. You can find it
Uh-huh.
on www.thingamajigstudios.com. But they will wear our shirts. We've had people just come up. We've had a lot of
working the
people
booth,
working
working
the
the booth.
booth.
My son
Yep.
always there, helping us set up, break down,
Hey,
working the booths, working the shows with us. And all I have
exactly.
to do is
I
just
already
buy
had
him
to start
lunch.
off. I already had to start off mine. He's not even one yet, and I already got him the mascot.
That,
There you go. There you go. There you go. Absolutely. We have a lot of people that come by the booth and will support us just by, sitting there talking over ideas and wanting
Hmm.
to know, how does this get started? And we, that is a credit to them for coming up to us, but it also feels good that they're supporting us because they'll buy our book just to see, hey, well, what, how does this go?
and, and,
Hey,
and
hey,
even
I
in the
love.
in the, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Even in the in the community that we're in, as far as independent creators, like I said, when we first started coming in, figuring out, doing shows, not understanding, not knowing the ropes, and
Hmm.
guys like Brian Lambert, Robert Love, Keaton Jones,
Jason Reeves.
Jason Reeves, a lot of those guys that tutelage and talking to us, and hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? And hey, here's Sebastian Jones. A
Robert
lot of those
Roach.
guys, Robert, a lot of those guys, yeah, been very supportive. We're at a convention together and at the same booth and have a conversation. And wow, well, where did you get this? Or who did you use as a printer? And just, you know,
Hmm.
social media and how do you post and all that kind of stuff. Just that community itself has been very open and assisting with us. So we want to shout out those guys too. We uplift each other, like to say, steel sharpen steel.
Yep.
So that has definitely been a boon for us in our
And what I
journey.
love about this show, it
Mhm.
allows me to do the same thing. I get to speak to other people and get to sharpen my iron while I'm doing it. So I love.
Exactly. Two more. I'm sorry, Marcus Newsom
Oh,
and
yep.
Ray A. Height. Big shout out to them, and we're hoping to do something with them soon.
Okay. Are there any collaborators or mentors you especially influence in your journey?
Hmm.
So as far as collaborators, some of those names that we talked about, some of those people we are looking at or talking about doing some collaborations with them, some kind of cross pollination with characters. That seems to be something that's kind of trending that we've noticed. So we I definitely want to do that with some people.
That's
One
a
of our
thing.
characters already appeared in like a small panel in one of the things, but doing some cross pollination with universes and all that kind of stuff, some stuff that we've been
Yeah,
talking about
that
doing.
would be with Brian Lambert, who is the founder and creator of
Wingless.
Wingless Comics,
Mm.
and we've had a couple of little cameos
Yeah.
in his books. So
It's funny because I'm thinking about it from the standpoint with social media influencers kind of cross pollinating and stuff like that. Even when website was called it backlinking, and it's kind of like it's no, I'm you're talking about it in terms of comics. I'm like I never even thought about that. It's just like oh, that's
yes,
the thing.
Yeah.
That's what that's
absolutely.
good. That's good. I wonder if the art style still click now.
Yeah,
Well, just like you have different versions of somebody. Todd McFarlane draws Superman, and then Jim Lee
Yes.
draws Superman. The basic idea is
is
the
there.
same. It'll have that flair. So if you see one of our characters maybe in another book,
You'll
it'll
recognize it.
you'll recognize it. But it also prompts you if we put one of his characters in our book, and well, who is this? And we put that thing, it
Hmm.
might prompt that person to go and look for that character in that other book and go buy that
Right.
other book, which is kind of the idea
And
for
and
doing
the
something like
idea
that.
that you can have a universe clash like Marvel likes
Yes.
to do
Yes,
is always a good idea.
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
All right, so now we're in the wrap up section. Right before we go, we always like to give the audience the what's next. So what's next for Thingamajig Studios?
So right now, as I said before, we're currently in production with issue 6. That should be
Hmm.
coming out by the end of the year, which will also come out volume 2 of the Me and Mr. Jones.
Hmm.
Um, the
And,
As far as in production, the you saw the Chronicles of Gabriel, the Outlawed. James mentioned his title. There's one of my books too that the concept and everything doing, just trying to find the right artist. It's called the Buffalo Squad. My tagline is right now
I think
your
I did
government.
see that.
Yes,
Yeah.
right now your government are doing the things they tell you only other governments do. So that's the tagline for that, like a secret ops kind of thing that
It,
do
it,
stuff
you
that
know
they're
what's
not
funny when
supposed
you
to.
bring it up? Because Trevor Noah was when Trevor Noah first came onto the scene, right? He used to talk about how everything Trump was doing is like it's surprising to you guys until you look at African power leaders, and then it does look so familiar.
Oh
It's
man,
like yeah, I was looking at the wrong continent.
Hmm.
that
So
is true.
when
Yeah,
you think about it now, it's like, yo, y'all look, why y'all operating like third world countries?
Doing that for I don't know how long. Yeah, exactly.
So
absolutely, absolutely. We're also the funny thing about this is none of this is a science and trying to juggle all these little different things. is the stories and the books and everything
Mhm.
is kind of hard, but we're also looking into animation, and we're hoping
A
we're
new
we're
format.
we're yes,
Yeah.
we're hoping to, Mr. Like we said, Mr. Jones, there's a reason we want to get up the stories and get that kind of find a longevity to it, because you got to have that in order to pitch.
Yeah.
In order to
And
pitch, they need to know.
okay. And before I ask, before I'm going to do a shameless plug right now, and I'm going to ask the last question I have for you. So
Okay.
one of the reasons when I was building my comic AI, right, I had to study like the top 25 companies that are like industries, and the first thing I realized is that each of them make money differently, but it's like it's kind of the same way. They start off with the IP, and some go down the Marvel Studio route where
Uh-huh.
it's like everything is about the blockbuster, the movies, everything there. Is that the comic book sales don't even register for most of them,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and then what others is all about merchandising, like Hello Kitty, for example, or
Yeah.
Pokemon, and it's
Right.
like if we just understood that as an audience and just figured out how to plug that into our model,
Yes.
it makes
Man.
our life so much easier. Just figuring out what we're doing next. So my shameless plug. Wow. I just thought it was interesting when you said I'm going to switch formats to this. I'm like, hey, I I know why.
Yes.
So, what advice? Okay, this is the final question. I'm just making sure we said. What advice will give aspiring indie comic book creators to take away going forward?
Um, the biggest advice I'd have to say would be to always follow your dreams. That's a standard saying and all that. But we started this young, and we realized, hey, is this something that we want to do? And I'm planning to take this all the way into retirement and still, be on the bus with my books and,
Stay
headed to the
power,
next
yeah.
convention to, do all
Mhm.
of this,
I'm gonna take a plane, but
yeah, he'll take a plane.
Hey
Oh man. You said, can I change mine? But yeah, just to follow your dreams and let them, let them air out. Be able to figure out what it is you want to do. Find every tool you can. If you can't attend to your dream now, then attend to your dream later. But make plans to do it. Do things. I recently had a mother ask me, and she was asking me about her daughter. Her daughter's going to college, and but she likes to draw. And I said, well, there's always, there's always talking about double majors. And, you got to make sure that she's able to follow her dreams as well as get a job to support those dreams. So,
just tell her the
there's
10% rule. Just like put 10 of
exactly, you
us.
got to be able to, but follow your dreams and follow your dreams and plan for your dreams. That would be
Mhm.
the best advice I
so
could give.
for me, one thing I've always been a thing in mind is a delay is not a denial.
Mhm.
Just because it doesn't happen today, if you stick with it, it can happen. If you wake up today and you got 10 things to do and you only got one thing done, my mindset is I won that thing. WON. If I only got one thing done, I did one thing. I won it today. That's
I
it.
won
Because them other nine
today.
are gonna be there. Take the little things. Delay is not a denial. It's an arduous task. If you're young and you don't have, we started this while we were already establishing our lives. So to kind of do it on the side and to
Mhm.
keep doing it and keep at it. And hey, we only got to write 2 pages today. Well, that was two. That's two less pages we got to write next week. We tried to do five, but we just couldn't get to it. You got a
Mhm.
recital or you got a play date. We got something else we had to go to back in the day or whatever it was. So just that stick to itiveness will pay off if you keep going.
Hey
Mhm.
guys, hey,
Yeah.
and what I like about you guys' story is that it's a testament of brotherhood. It's a testament of stick to itiveness, as you said, because to be consistent over the decades that you guys been working, 2 decades, sorry, 2 decades you guys been working on this, and now can say you got products, you got IP, you got process, you're still growing in this
Mhm.
field and you're still doing other stuff, and that just shows people is like it, it's not about how you started or you finish and how you are preparing for your next phase. And that's all I want people to take from this at the end of the day. It's
Right.
like you might not necessarily start you it's not it might be like I've said I want to do this and it's a year later and I haven't even wrote a page yet. I'm like, it's okay. Just keep nabbing at it. Eventually you go either go find the money to go pay a writer, or you're just gonna learn to write it yourself. Either way is fine. You're gonna learn to draw, or you're gonna pay a drawer. Either way is fine. It comes down to, do you want the skill set or do you want to the product, and then whichever way you go about it, at the end of the day, it's still gonna get done, and that's all that matters.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
so I want to thank you guys for joining me for another episode of Behind the Comic. We appreciate you guys. I wish you all the best in all your endeavors. I look forward to meeting you in the field one day.
Yes,
Yes.
we got to get out to that East Coast on some of them shows. That's
Hey,
one of our
I've been
goals.
over there. I love Vegas, so I know for a fact I'm going to find a reason to come over there. I just need to time it with your convention so I get there.
Yes. Yes.
I know LA Con is the one of the biggest. New York and LA Con is the biggest. So eventually, I know I have to go find myself there.
Especially San
Absolutely.
Diego.
Especially San Diego.
San Diego
San
is like
Diego
the
is
big San
Oh,
Diego,
I
and
love
then
San Diego. I
so
really
San
do.
Diego Comic Con is actually the first and the oldest. That is the biggest one.
Hmm.
LA Con is fairly new. It's about 10 or 15 years, but it's pretty big now.
Hmm.
But San Diego
that's
Comic Con,
50 some odd,
yeah,
55.
50,
That's
50 plus years it's been going.
longevity.
It was the first.
Hmm. And it
It was.
shows that it still stays,
That is
guys.
still
Yeah.
standing.
See what I'm
Yes.
talking about? There are probably people
Yes.
that's like, I remember when this place first started. I'm like, are you still alive? I don't care about you as a kid. Leave me alone.
Like, did we just date ourselves? Did we
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
my fault.
No.
LA
Hey,
Con, LA Con.
yeah, yeah,
hey.
yeah.
And if you're a guest that wants to be in the show, please just DM me, and I look forward to reaching you two guys and inviting you to the show. Thank you for another time on Behind the Comics,
Thank you for
Thank
and
you.
having us. Thingamajig
for
Studios
everyone.
Entertainment for your imagination.
Thank you, thank you.